For my presentation, I wanted to centre the musical works of Mer Ah Su, a black trans feminine musician from America. Her eclectic and audacious sound speaks to her lived gendered experience and the surrounding socio-political climate she contends with equal parts levity, radical hope, and despair. I postulate that through her exploration of her subjectivity within the two songs Perfect and Meg Ryan, Mer Ah Su exemplifies queer utopian practice and Afrofuturism. Queer utopian practices, as explored by Jose Munoz, are informed modes of desiring and transformative imagining that allow one to see and feel beyond the present. Utopian practices are collective and inherently queer. Afrofuturism as a practice is the expressions of black agency, identity, and empowerment that resist current states of minoritization and envision futures of liberation. Using musicking as a conduit, Mer Ah Su highlights the intraoperative forces of racialized gender, harnesses practices to resist multiple states of minoritization, and exemplifies radical hope to imagine the otherly. In the song Meg Ryan, Mer Ah Su comments on the fact that, quote, in a lot of spaces, white women are able to go through their day without having to brush up against the idea that life can be taken away from them, end quote. Besides being tongue-in-cheek, she also imagines a world where her lived experience could be that of the Meg Ryan type white woman, limitless and boundless. Donning a blonde wig, Mer Ah Su performs a parodical impersonation of a stereotypical white woman. These images are juxtaposed with Mer Ah Su joyfully being herself. In the lyrics, quote, but in dreaming I start believing there's nothing I cannot do, end quote, and, quote, I'm a white woman, I can do whatever I want, end quote, she enacts joyful utopian imaginative thinking, while also making comments on the constraints of her circumstance through the performance of a white woman. Through this, she suspends her own quotidian constrained realities and imaginatively creates potentialities of black and trans freedom for herself and others. The white woman Mer Ah Su is embodying physically becomes the metaphorical possibility of a utopia where the categories of whiteness and cisgender are privileged no more. Therefore, she, we, and us are all the white women.
I could be president, I could be queen, I could be everything in between. I could be president, I could be queen, I could be everything in between. I could be Page Proof, Phoebe Piper, Page Proof, Phoebe Piper, Page Proof, Phoebe Piper, Page Proof, Phoebe Piper. I'm a white woman, I can do whatever I want. I'm a white woman, I can do whatever I want.
In the song Perfect, Mer Ah Su navigates her identity as a black trans woman in a world that is, quote, really built to put me down and hide me, end quote, and imagines an alternative reality. The video features a lot of powerful symbolism highlighting the inextricability of blackness and transness, and certain socio-political prisms, such as allusions to sex work. Images of sadness and despair are juxtaposed with joy and agency as she dances in futuristic makeup in what appears to be a dream state. The song features lyrics such as, quote, perfect in a world that's not perfect at all, in a place where it's hard to stand tall and accept what I am, end quote, which are followed by, quote, I close my eyes and sometimes I find a place where perfect doesn't matter, deep in my mind, a spot where I am divine and perfectly flawed, end quote. Scholar Sara Ahmed states that central to queer utopian and Afrofuturistic practices are, quote, the strange and perverse mixtures of hope and despair that take as a starting point a critique of the world as it is and a belief that the world can be different, end quote. In this song, Mer Ah Su critiques the world as it is for her in the present, while also exploring the joys of what it can be. Queer utopia and Afrofuturism speak to desire, radical hope, and new futures. And Mer Ah Su highlights that this desire, constitutive of the pain and loss she has endured, has the power to invent and imagine new and better realities.
A spot where I am divine and perfectly loved. How many days have I spent feeling shame where I said
Through looking at these two songs, I have argued that Mer Ah Su's musical and visual pursuits embody queer utopian and Afrofuturistic practices through her blend of desire and expressions of black empowerment. Her lyrics and performance that speak to irony, despair, joy, and radical hope resist the present and cultivate future imaginaries. I love her and her music, and I implore you to go watch and listen for yourself.
To finish, I'll end with a quote from Mer Ah Su. Quote, "Our hope and love can break down walls and barriers. We can change the world. I believe in community, and our ability to create spaces is a really powerful magic, probably one of the biggest magics that we have in the world." Thank you for watching.